I was thrilled to receive the order for the football and began preparations at once. It was an important opportunity, since my inflation business had fallen on hard times. I still had some work in bouncy castles, but more and more it seemed like the public was losing its appreciation for proper inflation, which is a very delicate thing. Too little air and an inflatable will start to sag, then crumple, its features warping. On the other hand, too much air and the seams will suddenly burst. Even a small amount of air can make an enormous difference. This had become clear to the Football League after a famous quarterback was caught improperly deflating footballs during games, and so to ensure accuracy and precision, my services had been requested. The league supplied me with a flat football, and in my workshop I carefully inflated it to their specifications. However, knowing that I might need to make adjustments upon arrival, I brought a portable pump with me in the basket of my hot air balloon. It was morning as I rose with the football cradled firmly under one arm. The sky was clear. I had no doubt that I would arrive well before the game. Then, out of nowhere, a wicked storm blew in. The sharp wind rattled the basket and cut across my face. By the time the storm cleared up, I had been tossed far off course. I did my best to read the fickle winds, but did not reach the stadium until late that night. Thankfully, the lights were left on and I was able to navigate safely to the ground, touching down in the end zone. I felt wistful. So empty and quiet, the enormous stadium seemed even larger. A faint odor of sweat and stale beer still lingered in the air. At last, "You're here," called a man from the other side of the field. With the football in hand, I met him near the 40-yard line. "Coach," I said, "my sincerest apologies. I did all I could to bring this to you." "Hey, that's all right," he said, accepting the ball with a shrug. "I'm sure it wouldn't have made any difference. We were walloped, as usual." The coach was tall, balding, and broad-shouldered, probably a former player, though it appeared that all the spirit for the game had gone out of him. "Excuse me," I said, "but I can't help noticing that you're a bit deflated." "Deflated?" He frowned. "How can you tell?" "It's in the eyes. Please, follow me." My equipment was still in the basket of the hot air balloon. I retrieved the pump and instructed the coach to place its valve between his lips. I gave the pump 3 slow but vigorous thrusts, until his eyes began to bulge very slightly. "Now that's the stuff," he said, with a giggle. "I do feel better, lighter, but also a little bloated. All to be expected. However, I must warn you that this is only a temporary fix. You need to remember to breathe, and breathe deeply. Let the air fill you up like a balloon." He nodded, took a long deep breath, and leapt high into the air. His hands shot up as if to catch some invisible ball. Then, slowly, he floated back down to the turf. "Yes, just like that," I said, clapping my hands. "Now, I must be on my way. The winds are starting to change."